Predators. Not talking about them today, but we're talking about these boys. The Phantom GXs, baby. Here they are. It's time. Oh. If you guys know, quick look. Some upcoming cleats. Keep it blurry. Off camera. Ooh, you guys can guess. Let me know in the comment section below. What do you think is in this box? What do you think is in that box? So I can review it for you guys later. Drop a guess down below. Let me know. Hit a like. Subscribe. I'm doing the best for you guys. Come on now. Hey guys, welcome to another video. My name's Antonio. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Out here with another big opinion video. My impressions, my opinion. Don't get it twisted. I'm just giving you my final thoughts on the Phantom GXs. You know, I dropped a couple hints in the last video, and I feel like people are like, whoa, what is he gonna say? What is he gonna say? What is he gonna say here? Well, I got some news for you guys, and it's not like all bad. It's definitely not all bad. Should I start with the good, the bad, the ugly, or like just everywhere in between? We'll just talk about it. Let's just talk. So I got the Phantoms here, guys. Here they are in this amazing limited edition colorway, orange. Now, let's just talk about the color. These things are beautiful. And I know you guys had a question. So regarding upper and bottoms, guys, I've been wearing these non-stop. Not as much as the Predators, but pretty non-stop for like the last month or so. So it's legit. It's legit. Look, I mean, they're squished and everything because I literally been rocking them. So let's just talk about the upper. I know you guys had questions about like staining or anything. Now, I have not worn these on turf. I will never wear these on turf because I just care about them too much, personally speaking. But the upper looks fantastic to me. It literally got like a little bit dirty here in this little like section there, the panels, but nothing crazy. Like, I was able to clean them. They stink so bad, but I've kept them clean. I clean my cleats every single like time I use them, pretty much, unless like I'm like a super busy rush, obviously. But I really do try to take care of them. I know people had questions about the bottoms. Now, I don't play on turf. I play on grass, and I've been using them non-stop on grass. I've not used them on turf. On grass, they feel super good, and obviously it's really helped that I played on grass because the soles don't get as scratched. So they definitely are like very similar to like the first time I unboxed them. They still have that shine, that like really cool shine to them that's reflective and everything. So I think that's awesome. They really held up really well, and I think they still would definitely have that little shine. It's not as bright right now, but you could tell in the Nike check it's definitely wearing off. But if I wore them on turf, I think they would still be shining pretty well, but obviously just not shining as much. They definitely don't reflect as much and don't look as like cool when I first unbox them. But the upper has held up really well. No break-in points there where you know, the sole is like splitting up from the upper. And overall construction and build has been great. The upper here is still like extremely sticky, which is such a cool feature of the Phantom GXs. If you guys never tried them, this upper is so cool that has this texture. Really is like gluey, really nice. Really similar to like a Predator, really, in regards to like the grip it provides you, just without like the little pellets. So this is ultimately gonna last like a lot longer because I've worn them just as much, and they still like are so sticky. And obviously with the Predators, like I griped about, the pads were like, the little grip pads were breaking off. So that was a little bit frustrating in the Predators. But in these, since it's just the upper part that's like deep colored, is really sticky. It stayed sticky super nice. So upper and soles and overall construction has been fantastic. I'm super happy to report that. Overall, you guys can see, oh darn it, they're still dirty in there because it is what it is. But As you guys can tell, it's a very minimal cleat. I talked about it in my review, but you can tell that the heel doesn't really have that much padding. It's this really cool heel where you pretty much they're broken in as soon as you put them on. I swear to God, these cleats have been the easiest cleats to break in. No blisters, no nonsense. Literally, just put them on. They feel fantastic. So let me talk about like lockdown. So let's just talk about that right now. And for lockdown, I think this is where I have like my major gripe. I always wear like non-grip socks. Today I'm wearing actually Nike socks. What are the odds? But I usually wear my Adidas socks here. And whenever I wear non-grip socks that are like more on like the thinner end, I just feel like I'm not able to like fill out the entire cleat. And I also have like a little bit of like space in the toe area. It's nothing like super extreme like my Pumas have like almost like a full finger, and it pisses me off. That's why I don't really wear Pumas anymore. But this one has like maybe like a little nail like right here, maybe like I just have a little bit of a gap, and it does bother me. And the only way I've been able to get rid of that gap is wearing like thick grip socks. And then these cleats are like flipping amazing. Grip socks and like thick grip socks, because I have narrow feet, guys. I know it doesn't really look like it in camera, but I have narrow feet. And because the toe box area is wide, it allows the cleats obviously to be easily put on and everything and mold, but they just have never molded enough for the toe box to like get tight on my foot. And that's my major gripe about these. So honestly, personally speaking, if you have narrow feet, I've came to the conclusion, for my personal opinion, that I don't think these are worth it. If you have narrow feet, I think you would rather be in a Vapor, just because it'll give you just that good lockdown and that narrowness that you need to like just feel really locked into the cleat. And if your feet are too narrow, then you have the same issue that I have. Although they look great, you'll have to think about what socks you're wearing to feel like ultimately super happy with this overall cleat. If you have a mid to like thicker or wider foot, then I definitely think these are 100% better than Vapors, in my opinion, because they're so barefoot, no nonsense, that it's just like incredible the sensation you get. But that's my major gripe. Moving on to traction, guys. These have been great on grass as long as the grass is not super wet. If the grass is super wet, the studs aren't very long, and it's kind of frustrating because a lot of dirt will get built up and you start sliding all around, like just everywhere, literally everywhere. You just start sliding because the studs aren't as long. For like, look at that, they're really not very long at all, especially compared to my Predators. The traction is really iffy on really wet grass, so definitely take that into account. If you're going to be wearing these like extremely weathery, like wet conditions, then maybe don't wear these, because I was sliding all around. The dirt literally got stuck like all over the place. But if you're playing in dry conditions, these are so nice. It's almost like you're literally barefoot, and more barefoot than a Vapor, in my opinion. Like, Vapors are thin, don't get me wrong, but these, I'm like, I don't know what it is on this upper. I feel like I'm just gliding. It's the craziest thing. I just feel like I'm literally barefoot and just have some studs like on the bottom of my foot, especially because the way they constructed this cleat, it's just so thin and so easily able to be broken in seconds. Like, you guys will be impressed if you guys had to like put on a cleat and play in a game like immediately, then boom, these are outstanding to do that in. My other like final gripe about these cleats is, because my foot's not able to fill in the entire cleat in the width, I feel like I have to kick the ball in a different type of way, or just be really like cognizant of like what socks I'm wearing. So I just think personally in my foot type, it's just too narrow to like fully enjoy the cleats. And I don't think personally, you know, I'm naturally like an 8 to like 8.5 foot size. But I always wear like 7.5 because I really like my toe to be like scrunched in there. Like my toes kind of like really locked in. But in these, my toes feel like they're like this. That's the best way to explain it. My toes feel like they're like this. And then let's just say this was the tip of the cleat. My toe feels like it's like right there. So instead of like my usual feet going against the cleat almost, or like right at the tip, but just perfectly, my toe feels like it's like here, just kind of like keeps me like kind of like it just makes me like feel uncomfortable in the cleat. I don't know, I feel like I can't fully control the boot, and I feel like sloppy. That's like the best way to put it. Until I get the right socks on and wear grip socks especially, then I feel like super happy in these cleats. But I definitely have to adjust every single time I put them on because there's literally no bulk to the cleat. Like, they are very flat on the upper part. It all like depends on how your foot shape is that gives it that volume. Unlike my Predators, like my Predators automatically have this like bulk and they have this extra padding. And since this is literally just a boot with no padding, it could be really sensational for like the right foot type. But for me personally, my feet are just too narrow, and sizing down again to like a 7 would just be ridiculous and wouldn't work out. In other words, what I'm trying to get to say here is that these are outstanding cleats. There's no question about it. Breaking time, outstanding. The overall look of the cleat, outstanding. The lightness of the cleat, outstanding. Traction is pretty decent, feels good. A lot of like conical studs and like circular studs in there as well. So it has like you fully loaded in the traction area. And I think for the right foot type, if you have like a medium sized foot or like a wide foot especially, then these are gonna be unbelievable. Like better than any cleat ever, and as close as possible you can get to a Vapor without breaking your feet, because Vapors are naturally more narrow. So if you've never been able to fit into a Vapor and you always wanted like a cleat that gives you that barefoot feel, that gives you like no nonsense in regards to padding, you feel like you're just almost barefoot, and you have a wider foot, then these are 200% the cleats that you're definitely wearing. Like, there's no other cleat that you need to wear other than these. If you're like a Vapor person, always wanted to be a Vapor person but had wide feet or medium sized feet and just couldn't fit into a Vapor, then you need to get these cleats. They're unbelievable. Unfortunately for me, my feet are just too narrow, so I always have to wear or be cognizant of what socks I'm wearing, and definitely have to wear grip socks just to like give me that extra like lockdown in the cleat, because my feet are just not narrow enough, or my feet aren't wide enough to be in them. So that's the only caveat. I love them though, love the colorway, love the overall cleat. Definitely not complaining. I definitely give them like still like an 8 out of 10. Just for me personally, they just don't like fit me perfectly. But I definitely give them 10 out of 10 if I had a little bit wider of a foot and a bit longer of a foot, personally speaking. That's just my opinion. Take it for what it is. Here's the update, guys, and I hope you guys have an amazing day.